here come. Y'all, we did not know that y'all skipped ahead an hour. We had no idea that you skipped ahead.
Yeah, y'all didn't let us know.
But we have got to get a handle, Black folks. We have got to get a handle on this money thing, right? Mm-hmm. Too many people's expenses are more than what they're bringing in.
Wait, slow down. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
No.
So we asked folks, right, to send us their financial information.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we picked 5 families. And there we're going to show you their situations, and we will discuss that today. But I was really dismayed on the percentage of folks who sent in their financial. We got over 40 folks who sent us their stuff.
We did.
Who responded to this and to the survey. And look, there were too many that are running on a monthly deficit, right? Like you bringing in $2,000 a month and you spending $3,000 a month. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. So we're going to talk about that.
So when folks find out that we live in Lisbon,
yeah,
Portugal,
we live in Lisbon, Portugal, y'all.
There are 2 questions they always ask.
Is it safe?
Yeah. And, but first, one is always, how do you live? Did you get a job there?
Okay, exactly. Which is why we asked y'all to send us your financial information. And we are going to discuss what you need to do to leave the United States or your home country ASAP. So let's talk about it.
First, we should introduce ourselves.
I was going to do that.
Or you?
I
okay.
was.
I jumped on your line.
Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money. We talk about travel and retiring abroad. We help folks who look like us get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even abroad.
Abroad is a good thing, and early is even better.
Early is even better. So, sweetie, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about, we're going over 5 families' financial plans to move abroad amidst Trump's chaos.
If you have not been paying attention, I don't know where you've been, but we have been telling you all for months and months and months now to stop spending money on things that you don't need. Just stop it, because a recession is coming. Now, whether it's going to be a great recession or a depression, I have no idea. But it's coming. It is inevitable with the goofiness that this man is doing. And then you pile on to that the fact that he's firing a bunch of folks. So for those of us who wanted to look for another job, now we got to compete against all of these folks from the federal government.
Right.
It is crazy. It's crazy. So, right? And so hopefully you will see yourself in one of these situations. But more importantly, I want you to look at the thought process that we use and that we will creatively or cooperatively discuss, because we're going to crowdsource this, right? We want ideas from you all as well, yeah. Right? But you'll see the thought process that we use to creatively retire. But first, if you're new to our channel, then you might not know. About 2018, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age, and we had forgot to plan, y'all. We looked at our money, and it looked crazy. But we did get our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. Go ahead right now, because I know that over half of you who watch our videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe.
We'll give you a minute.
Hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time we go live or drop a new video. And if you find this information helpful, smash that like button so that YouTube knows that this is information that needs to be shared with more of our community.
Yes. And if you're coming to Lisbon in June,
that's right,
for a meetup,
that's right.
Let us know in the chat.
That's right. And if you're watching from the future, hey, hope the future's bright. Let us know if you're coming to the meetup in the comments if you're watching from the future, because I saw that the meetup WhatsApp group was very chattery this afternoon. or earlier today, because it's nighttime here, y'all. It's 7:30 at night. It is 7:30 at night. So, all right, we are going to get started, and then we will say hello to the folks who are in the chat.
In the chat.
Okay, how do I want to do this? I guess we'll do it this way.
You can do it that way.
Okay, let's make this bigger for a sec. So y'all, you guys know the drill. If you have a question or comment, put a Q underneath it. And but we're gonna make this bigger so that we can see what's going on, because this screen is not big enough, y'all. It is not big enough. All right. So now you feel good because you can see it.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So this is Sonia and Sam. Sonia is mom, Sam is son, right? So this is a single mom, and this is her situation. Her income is $37.23. Her expenses are
$1991.66, $1,991.66.
1991.66 equals. All right, so that leaves a gap of $1,731.34. That's the gap. By the way, we did not choose any of the ones that were running in a deficit, because I mean, if you're running a deficit every month, there's two things you've got to do, right? You've got to lower your expenses and you have to raise your income. There's just no other way around it. And our biggest expense is housing. And so the quickest way to have a good chunk of your expenses taken away is to house hack. Okay. And so we talk about that in Beyond the Bling, our financial freedom program for late bloomers. But in essence, you've got to find a way to get rid of that cost. Now, that's why I asked on the questionnaire whether you had a single family home or a multifamily home. No one had a multifamily home. This is the biggest mistake that Black folks have made. We did not buy multifamily homes. We tried to buy McMansions. And we paid more per square foot for that McMansion, even though we were paying for space that we probably were not even utilizing on a regular basis. And it doesn't make sense to pay for space that's just going to sit there 90% of the time, right? Especially in today's economy.
Right.
Especially in today's economy. So I know we don't like to hear the word roommate and stuff like that when we grown, but look, y'all, we got to do what we got to do. And we talk a lot of stuff about some other cultures in America that come to America, and they be 6 and 7 deep in them homes, right? And we be talking a little bit of smack.
Yeah, but there's a reason they do that.
We be talking a little bit of smack.
There's a reason they do that.
That's right. And yet, like for instance, Latino households on average have a higher household income than Black families. Now, is it because individually they make more? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how many breadwinners or how many adults are working in those households, but we know the drill. So there's something we have to do things that we wouldn't want to do in order to get ourselves back into a good financial situation. All right, so let's keep going with Sonia and Sam. So the gap between her income and her expenses is $1,731. She says, in the future, when she moves abroad, she wants her monthly budget to be $2,500, and so the income, this $3,723. This is not earned income. This is not W-2 money. This is money that she's getting from either a pension, Social Security, alimony, child support, rent from something else that she may. Well, she doesn't own anything else, so it can't be from that. So it's from some other source. All right, and so. My biggest concern, what's y'all's biggest concern? What's your biggest concern? My biggest concern is that debt.
Yeah, you got to knock that out.
$25,000 in debt. And so then it begs the question, where is this $1,700 going every month? And that's what you need to figure out, Sonia. These are not their real names, by the way. I just made this stuff up, but she'll recognize the numbers and she'll know. So I want to know where the $1,700 is going. The fact that there's only $1,000 in savings means that you're very, very vulnerable. You're very vulnerable, which is probably why you have the credit card debt. Okay. And so you need to do a line by line, look for the last, I don't know, 2 to 4 months to see where this
Where your money's going.
Yeah, where's the $1,700 going? Okay. And so what I believe that you need to do, there's a couple of things that you can do. One, like you're going to raise your monthly expenses. You've already said that. So right now your expenses are about 2,000. You're going to raise them to 2,500. So you need to be bringing in some more income to pay off this debt, or you have to lower your monthly future budget, or you can't leave yet. Okay. Either way, I don't necessarily think that you need to stay because of the debt. You do need to stay right now because of the lack of savings. Okay. And so we need you to have 6 months of living expenses in savings, in cash, okay, before you bounce. You need to know that if stuff pops off, if you get someplace and you're like, you know what, I hate it here or whatever,
Right.
You've got the money to maneuver and to make some moves. So at 2,500, at 25, where's my calculator? At $2,500 dollars a month times 6, so you need 15,000 in savings. I'm going to divide that by 1,700. 8 months. 8 months unless you find other income. 8 months to save that money. And that means that you're not putting extra money towards paying down that credit card debt. And so here's the thing. Usually when folks move out of the country, they move to a lower cost of living.
Right.
You're not moving to a lower cost of living. You're deciding to move to a higher cost of living, but I don't see a change in your income. And so that's my concern. If you, and I believe that it is possible in certain countries, like one of our favorite places to mention is Querétaro, Mexico, because it's safe, because it's inexpensive. And I believe that you could live there, you and your son, for about the same amount of money you're spending right now. Okay. And that means once you get there, you've got the $1,700 still to start paying down that debt. And that's what we need you to do. These magic numbers down here at the bottom, what do these mean? Okay, so she is not getting money from a W-2, but you know that you can stop working for somebody else when you have when your stable income, passive income, other income is coming in to meet that number, that monthly number. So for her, that would be $2,500. All right. Or, and this is tricky in this day and age, because the studies that created the formula to get this number, that $600,000 number, are based upon history. And we are moving into uncharted territory.
Right.
The stock market, I do believe, I do not believe that these folks are going to let that just crash indefinitely. So I do believe that it's going to come back up. But here's the thing. For those folks who are depending upon living off of that money, that becomes a concern, which is why Rick and I saved 2 years living expenses. We saved 2 years living expenses so that we would not have to take money out of our retirement account or a brokerage account in a down market. Okay. So the calculation to get that $600,000 is annual expenses times, do you remember?
Was it 25 times?
Yeah, times 25. All right. And that's how you get That's how you get that $600,000 number. All right. So, unfortunately, anybody who looks at this is going to say Sonia is not in a position right now today to leave. Okay. We need you to have more cash, Sonia. We need you to have more cash. Okay. Let's see what y'all are saying. And if you want information about our meetup, by the way, that information is in the description below. I did not say that earlier. Sorry about that. And I don't know why. Here we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And let's see what you all are talking about. So the first budget, they could move and pay off the debt in a lower income country, right? Then the second move can be to Portugal once the debt is paid. I don't know who this is, CK, nor do I know if they want to move to Portugal. But yeah, right? Like, what is the beginning? I mean, at this point, you don't have to move immediately to the place where you want to end up, right? Like if the main thing is to get out of harm's way, if the main thing is, if stuff pops off in the United States, I don't want to be there. If the main thing is the climate is draining me emotionally, right? Then yeah, I would go to my plan B first if that had a lower cost of living. And that's what we were going to do.
Right.
We were on the way to just going straight to Mexico first, because y'all know we have permanent residency in Mexico as well. Action VJ, you are so good. Thank you.
Thank you, Action VJ.
Thank you. Because I was like, oh, I didn't grab it because y'all, we were planning for an hour from now. Okay. See, Greta is one of the experts in our Facebook group, and she knows the answer. But can we depend on Social Security? Social Security is scheduled to go bankrupt in 2034. Totally awesome. Hey there. That gives you 10 years to figure it out. No, 9 years to figure it out. Totally awesome, right? Like if you're already getting it, that gives you 9 years to figure it out. If you're not getting it, I'm not depending upon Social Security, even though I'm only 2 years away. I'm not depending on it. If Social Security, first of all, it's not really bankrupt. It's not really bankrupt. That's what they say, because they don't want to tax people. They don't want to tax people. And the people who pay for our politicians are saying they don't want to be taxed. And so that's why, like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's just so goofy. But here's the thing. If Social Security goes away, we got bigger problems. I mean, let's just think about this, right? Like, this has been around. Social Security has been around for 70 years plus. And you just go, take it away?
After everybody paid into it?
Give me my money back.
Yeah, right.
That's what you can do. Plus the VIG. That's what you can do. All right, let's go to the top and see what y'all are saying and say hello. Hey, CK. So thank you. Look, you guys let us know. Y'all let us know that we were an hour behind. And that our stuff was scheduled for an hour behind, because I did not realize that y'all had already sprang forward.
Well, we were just talking about how wow, the sun is still up.
Yeah, because we were out running errands. Yeah. 3D, is that your name? 3D, is that how we pronounce that? I'm so ready to move. Well, we want you to hurry up and move. We want all our people to get out of harm's way. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. Wait, that's weird.
It's Tanya.
Hey, Tanya. I'm sorry. So somehow our messages got marked as spam.
No, that's when I typed those in because I was saying hi.
Right.
And it was weird. And I was
why did it get right? Hey, Nation Now News. Hey, Peggy, good to see you. And okay, so this one came through that we said, hey, everybody, right? But like, I don't know. All right. Hey, Michelle. We couldn't figure it out. We ain't got time for all that. Hey, Karen Louise. Yes, we've got 5 total different situations. So we saw the first one. We see that she needs to shore up that emergency fund. That's going to be most important, right? Shanora, hey, Gwen and Derek, good to see you. Vicky Hayward, hey, Kemi, Wanda is in the house. Jackie's in the house. Rose, Yakota. I know Yakota's coming. He's coming to the meetup. Angela is in the house. K Stewart, KB, Vicky G, rapper MD. I feel like I'm a rapper.
I know.
Right? Everything's rhyming. Ra is in the house. The art appraiser. All right. Avocado queen. All right, y'all. Let me continue going through Pinky, Tana Rose, and find these questions. Hey, Kimmy, A. Lee, protect privacy. Marcus Allen. Did you see something?
Yeah, my nephew, Daniel Flores.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
I stopped just about all spending. Good, Nation News. I'm trying to figure out another income stream so I can get out. Down to selling my raw diamonds. Look, I would keep those precious gems. I would keep the precious gems. Now is not the time to buy gold, y'all, by the way. Every time consumer sentiment is down, people start rushing to buy gold. And so then it gets overrated, right? So we don't want to buy high. We want to buy low.
Hey, Teddy.
We want to buy low. Hey, Teddy. Hey, Cheryl. Okay, Avocado Queen. Even though I'm not retirement age, your channel is one of the that resonates with me most. Thank you. Would I still be able to schedule a one-on-one call feeling so extremely stuck here? Yes. Look, we help anyone. We will help anyone on one-on-one calls. Beyond the Bling, we have 30-year-olds in Beyond the Bling. It is meant for folks to play catch up. But if you're 35, you might be playing catch up. It depends. It depends on how much debt you have, right? So we have some 30-year-olds, some 40-year-olds, as well as 50 plus in Beyond the Bling in our financial independence program. So, and then one-on-one calls, we help anybody, with either getting your side hustle started, with a move abroad plan, or just the money thing, or all three. Okay. It's no problema.
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa Watts is in the house. WOP. I'll be there at the June meetup. Yay! CK. Yay! All right. I'm looking for questions, y'all, and then we're going to get right back to it. Coming in June and receive PR for permanent residency for Mexico. Yay! Yes, 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 yes. This is what we want to see. Choices. Does that mean that she's necessarily moving to Mexico tomorrow? No, but it means she can. What's the average cost of a nice 2-bedroom apartment in Lisbon? Do they come with exercise rooms and swimming pool? I know that sounds spoiled, but I'm American. Hey, rider skater. Yeah, you're going to have to change that.
There's places that do have it.
They do, and you're going to pay.
And you're going to pay for it.
And I have no idea because it's not in our budget. This is a very crowded city, right? It's Manhattan, right? This is the capital of Portugal. And when I say crowded, that doesn't mean you're like this.
No.
But it's a dense city. Only I would say the new builds probably in Parque das Nações maybe have pools and things like that on the rooftop.
I think where Kendall lives,
they have a pool.
They have a pool and they have a small. You got to stop and realize when you say weight rooms and stuff like that, these apartment complexes don't have huge workout rooms like they do in the States. They just don't.
They don't have the space.
Yeah, they're smaller. So even the swimming pool might be a little bit smaller. You don't have Olympic-sized swimming pools.
But the neighborhoods have swimming pools. You can join the neighborhood swimming pool. Yeah. They have Olympic-sized swimming pools. In ours has indoor and outdoor. So, but you're going to be paying upwards of $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah. Easy for something like that.
Yeah.
The more you want, you can get it.
Yes. We know somebody's paying $6,000 a month. There is no more DEI. So guess who may be at the back of the hiring line while competing for jobs? Exactly. Along with those recently fired from that fake department that really doesn't exist, but Congress somehow is letting it exist. So the first budget, they could move and pay off the debt and lower. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, great, CK. We talked about that. File for bankruptcy and start from scratch. There's something to be said about that. And I will never suggest that someone beat up their credit that way. However, we are in uncharted territory. That's number one. Number two, you've got to decide, like, what are your plans for the next 7 years, right? Because that's how
Right.
long it's going to take to come off is 7 years, right?
Yeah. But then bankruptcy doesn't erase all your debt. Some of your debt doesn't go away.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, but
you want-
$25,000 worth, that's a lot of debt.
Yeah.
That's a lot of debt. I mean, but we had it and we got out of it. We had a little bit more income coming in though. Last July, I moved in with a friend to save 60% of my income. That's right, protect privacy. Love it, love it, love it, while continuing retirement investments. So for my goal of relocating to Portugal with the strongest possible cash position as a single woman. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we've got to be creative. We got to do what we need to do to make sure that we are not stressed the hell out, because there's nothing more stressing than money problems. All right, I'm going to star these and then let's move on to the next one. Let's star some of these. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, that 4% withdrawal rate, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Gosh, y'all chattering. Okay, I think I got them all.
I think you could go up a little bit.
Did I miss one?
Did Rapper MD have a question? Did you get that one?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
I
Okay.
just saw stars fly by.
All right, here we go. Number 2. This is a single person. This is Janice. Janice earns $10,746 per month net. Her expenses are $10,137. She gets other income of $14,182. She has $650,000 in her home, equity in her home. Her retirement account has
$1,457. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's 1 million.
I was just gonna let you do
that's
that.
The one I saw. Am I reading this right? $1.5 million.
Basically $1.5 million, right? In her brokerage account, she's got
78,000.
And her savings,
32.
Yep.
54,000.
Her car is worth, if she sold her car, she could get
17,000.
And she's got $4,100 in debt, which it should be erased next month. Her future, now, interestingly, if I remember correctly, Janice wants to maintain both her property in the States and abroad. So her monthly budget is $8,705. The magic number is 2 mil, 2,611,000. And, okay, so she's keeping her house. So, and she doesn't have other assets besides that car. Because I was going to see if she had like rental properties to sell or something like that. But it doesn't really matter, because the amount of income that she has coming in from her rents and alimony and pension, Social Security, whatever she's getting is enough. That covers the 8,000 comfortably.
Yeah.
Comfortably. As a matter of fact, Janice is in such a good position. They might even let her into Switzerland, y'all. Switzerland is like one of the hardest places to financially qualify for. They don't want Rick and I. We don't make enough. They do not want us, but they want Janice. So Janice, I'm not sure why you're still working, unless that earned income is you paying yourself from a company or business that you own. But there's no reason for you to still be working. So quit and get out of Dodge. Let's start making a plan, and it's time for you to quit and get out of Dodge. I'm not even worried about you getting to that $2,600,000 mark, because unless the other income, if one of the streams were to disappear, would that put you below your 8,700? And even still, if you stick to the 8,700, the gap between the 8,700 and the 14,000, you can continue to put that in your brokerage account, right? And get that up to that 2,600,000.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. All right. So you're in a good position, enviable position. Y'all, everybody, she's the only one like this. Don't think everybody else ain't like this. All right. Janice did things right. Okay. And it's not about the fact that she's making so much money and getting so much money. It's not about that. It's about living well below your means, right? Like she gets so much more money than she puts out. That's the part that I like. I, of course, love the fact that she's making a lot of money, over $100,000 a year. That's always a nice thing.
Right.
But I don't want the people who are not making six figures to be discouraged. It's not necessarily because you'll see. All right. So, can she generate income by selling covered calls to live off of or increase investment assets? And so, yeah, she doesn't need to generate anything more, because you see the other income, she's got 14,000 coming in. All right. And she's planning to only live off of 8,700. There's nothing more she needs to do besides pay off that $4,100 in debt, which she can do in a month. Like, I'm not even sure why it's there.
Right.
Right. Like, I'm not even sure why it's there. So, yeah, Janice is in a good position. All right. Lee, I think I might have missed a couple more of yours with those red question marks. I think I might have. If I have, I'm sorry. You might want to repeat it. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll get to questions. Now we have a family. I'm gonna make it bigger. This is a family of 5. Not that Janice is not a family, and Sonia and Sam are not a family, but I meant with lots of kids, with more than one, and 2 adults who are earning incomes. Okay. Because the majority of the folks who responded only had one earner. There were only a couple of folks who responded that had 2 earners in the house. And I thought that was interesting. I thought that was really interesting. So, all right. So Rasheed and Renee have 3 kids. The one mistake that I made and I changed this on the form, because we're going to continue to do this every now and then. So if you want to fill out the form, if you got the email and you want to fill out the form, you can go ahead and fill out the form. I've added in age because what I don't know are folks' ages. And so that kind of changes dynamics. So you'll have to forgive me. Well, we're operating a little bit in the dark when it comes to age. However, again, with the goofiness with Social Security and then probably trying to privatize it. That's what I think. The person who was concerned about that, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to try to privatize it. And then slowly, very slowly, like over 30 years or so, take it away. Yeah. You can't do it all at once. People will be up in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Rasheed and Renee are 6, their household makes 6 figures. They're bringing in $10,500 net. And then they have $1,000 coming in from some other source. Their expenses are $9,000, leaving a gap of $1,500. Okay, so they've got about $30,000 equity in their house. Mm-hmm. That tells me they haven't had it long. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Right. So our assumption is they've bought it relatively recently, which means the majority of the money that they're spending right now is going towards just towards interest. They've got $100,000 in the retirement account. Sorry for that, missing a 0. $60,000 in their brokerage account, $50,000 in their savings account. Their car, if they sold it today, they could get about $2,500 for it. Okay. So either it's old like ours were, or they owe a lot of money on it or on them. All right. So let's look at the debt. And I want you guys to look at how we have this set up, okay? Because the first part, income and expenses, that's cash flow. Money comes in, money goes out, all right? The second part, if you're looking at a business, this would be the balance sheet, right? You've got your assets, you got your debt, all right? These things, the assets and the debt, they're not static, but they don't go in and out every month, right? Like money does, right? And so that's why it's separated that way. And that's how you figure out what your net worth is, right? Debt minus assets equals your net worth. And hopefully your debt is less than your assets. Do you have your phone? Do you want to add up those assets? All right. Well, I talk about they've got $30,000 in credit card debt, $54,000 in a private student loan. Oh, ouch. And then $27,000 worth of other debt. I included timeshares in debt because unfortunately, I don't understand how you get out of a timeshare. I have no idea. Maybe somebody can, if you know, let us know. I don't know how you get out of them things. I don't understand them. So we've never invested in it.
That right there.
So he's got a complicated one. All right. So magic numbers. Okay, so future living, they want to live off of $5,000 a month. So my question to Rasheed and Renee is, are you going to be able to take that income with you where you go? If not, where is the 5,000 going to come from? Now, maybe they can work remotely. A lot of you can. A lot of you can. And a lot can't, unfortunately. Either way it goes, every single person who's watching should be creating a side hustle. Every single person who is watching this right now should be creating a side hustle, unless you're in Janice's position, right? Unless you're in Janice's position, you need to be creating a side hustle. We don't know, we know that the value of the dollar is going to go down. We know that after 2025, we're going to continue to see other countries try to de-dollarize themselves, right? And so we've got to be as nimble as possible. That means you need more than one income stream, right? You need money coming in from over here. So if they trip over here, you got this coming in over here, right? You're never without an income stream. All right, you finally got it worked out. All right, so he's going to do what their net worth is. So that monthly budget, the future monthly budget is $5,000, making that $60,000 annually. So the magic number is $1.5 million if you wanted to live off of your dividends. Now, I know that Greta was saying in the chat, she was explaining the fire numbers, that 60,000 times 25. That comes from a study that was done, gosh, I don't know, 50 years ago, maybe by now. Yeah, 40, 50 years ago. And basically the formula says that if you look over any 10-year period of time with folks who have money invested in the stock market, that they have seen that you can take out 4% of your balance and never run out of money. I don't know if that will hold up in the future. Okay. But what I do know is this. If you have, again, I do not believe that they're going to let it fail indefinitely. Okay. So that's number one. So number two, why did I need to know your age? Can you afford to wait it out? If you're 75, you can't afford to wait out 10 years for the market to come back, or even 3 years, right? Interestingly enough, in looking at the charts, when there is a huge market crash and with a recession, depression, what have you, the stock market comes back way faster than the economy at large. The stock market has absolutely nothing to do with the economy. It just doesn't. There's too many emotions and everything else tied up in it, right? And why stocks do what they do and why the buyers do what they do, right? So, and then it's global forces as well. So the stock market does usually come back really fast, considering how long it takes the economy. So if you even look back during the Obama years, during the Great Recession, it took the economy past his first term to come back, right? But the stock market started bouncing back within like a year or two. So that's why we need to know how old you are and how much, how old you are, because that will tell us how close you are to pensions and things like that. And when you can take your money out of your pre-tax accounts, like a 401k or a traditional IRA, right? If you take it out before you're 59 and a half, you have penalties, but there's ways around that. I think it's called a backdoor IRA or something like that. But there's ways that you can do it without getting penalized. You still have to pay taxes, but without getting the penalization. So, all right. So let's talk about Rasheed and Renee. The first thing.
I don't like how that does that.
Okay, I'm not sure why it's taking him so long. So let me go ahead
My
and do this.
calculator is
doing goofy things. All right, so 30,000 plus 160,000
I came up with 240
plus 52,500 equals 242.
Right.
500. Great. And then the
that was
debt
right.
is 30,000 plus 54,000 plus 27,000. 111,000. See how we do that, folks? And so, so I'm going to say minus 242,500. So their net worth is 131,500. So this is a six-figure family, and that's why I said, y'all, it's not only about what you make; it's also about what you spend. So they're bringing in 11,000. Wait. I think it's more than a $1,500 gap. It's a $2,500 gap because I forgot about the $1,000 other income. All right. Rasheed and Renee, we need to get rid of this debt, and we know that, right? And we need to lower expenses. That private student loan, I would work to see what you can do to get rid of that. If it were a public student loan, that would be different. Is it a private student loan, that has an adjustable rate? Because a lot of the private ones do, and that's some baloney. If you want to protect your credit, you need to figure out how to work with them. I was going to say refinance your house, but if the interest rates were low, back down to like the 3% range, and you had more equity in your house, I would almost say to refinance your house and pay off that student loan. Because if you're paying 9%, 10% on your student loan, it makes more sense. It makes more sense to pay 3%. Now you say, yeah, but it's over a 30-year period. All you have to do is make double payments, and then that becomes a 15-year period. Just make one extra payment per year, and your 30-year mortgage is now cut down to 15 years if paying off your house is your big thing. The credit card debt. Let's deal with the credit card debt first because it probably has the highest interest rate. So 30,000 divided by 2,500. I'm not letting you out for nothing, right? You can pay that off in a year. All right. So credit card debt gone in a year. I would say 13 months. I want you to save a little bit more money because you have a family of 5. If you are taking that earned income with you and going to a lower cost of living like 5,000 is still a huge budget, but maybe not for a family of 5. I don't know. Wait, what the heck? How did that happen? That was weird. Our screen went to sleep. That was weird. Okay. But we are still live. Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? Okay. You can hear us. You guys were talking. That was really weird. All right. So we need to pay off that credit card debt first. But I think you should save a little bit more money. But if you can take that earned income with you, and then lower your expenses. Okay, I gotta make this big again. Lower your expenses by $4,000. That will allow you to pay off some of this other debt. And that other debt, that $27,000 might have just as high of an interest rate as those credit cards, especially if it's like a signature loan. So I would be doing two things. One, creating another income stream. I'm going to assume that you can take that money with you. So I would be creating another income stream just in case one of them gets pissed off and says, no, we want to see you back in the office. All right. That's number one. The second thing that I would do is, oh, wait, I lost my trend. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to save a little bit more money. We're going to create another income stream. And then once we get to our new home, oh, you're packing right now. Go ahead and start packing, Rasheed and Renee. Start packing, okay? Because if you can take that income with you, start packing. And figure out where you want to go. With a budget of $5,000 a month, there's a lot of places that you can go. There are a lot of places that you can go. Most places have, the food is less expensive. So you might even be able to lower your budget even more than that. All right. Or put some money aside for travel, et cetera, you know. All right. So yeah, anything else you want to add?
No.
The biggest thing is getting rid of that debt. And then once you get rid of that debt, you can take that same amount of money that you were spending getting rid of the debt and put that into your retirement accounts. Rick and I were saving 65% of our income, 65% plus of our income. If you all can get your that debt out of there, right? Because I don't know that 5,000 probably does not include paying off that debt. Probably does not. So get that debt out of there. Once that's gone, y'all could be saving 50% of your income, right? Saving 50% of your income and then be able to retire very soon. So, or choose to work or not to work, right? Right. All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about. And then we will do the last two. Anything you want to add to what we've said? Five kids is a lot. No, they don't have 5 kids. There's 5 family of 5. Did I say 5 kids?
No.
3 kids. I chose pictures to represent what they said, who they were. So 3 kids and 2 working adults. So yeah. Dennis. Thank you. Dennis Palmore. That sounds like a new name. 54, live in New York City, been traveling for over 20 years since 2003. Congrats. Been to about 28 countries and have wanted to move since I first began traveling. I know, right? Once you start traveling outside the United States and maybe outside of like the Caribbean, it's like, ooh, I could live here. Ooh, I could live here. I could live here. Mostly work remote. Oh, cool. Single, no kids. So hope to be out there soon.
Yeah.
Come to our meetup, Dennis, in June. Come. So y'all know, thank you for the super thanks money. All of our money goes to?
It goes to our scholarships.
Why are you asking the question? Goes to our scholarship fund.
Scholarships.
For Beyond the Bling, our financial independence program for late bloomers. I know someone asked me for a scholarship in the last week or so. And I know I owe you an answer. I'm so behind. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still dealing with the loss of a family member and having to do help with the funeral prep and stuff like that. And it's kicking my behind a little bit. I have to admit, it is kicking my behind. All right. Okay, this is tripping. Is it just me or is it tripping? Okay, the monthly expenses, $2,400, which would $30,000 annual, not $24,000. Oh, thank you. I had a math error. I am so sorry. So that would be 750,000 is the magic number as opposed to 600,000. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that was for this one. Let me take it down so you guys can see the bottom of it. That was this one. I don't know what I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I know how to do math, for crying out loud. So thank you so much, Marcus. All right, and let's remove that. What banks do you recommend that you conduct international transactions without a fee? That would be Charles Schwab, Fidelity. I know those two at least will, they will give you the ATM fees back and they won't charge you to have to convert the money.
And I think Fidelity has branches in some places.
Oh, okay. So they have brick and mortar over here?
I believe so.
Okay. In retirement,
not a lot, but they have some.
In retirement, the recommended 4% withdrawal rate is now increasing to 5 to 6%. Oh, have you heard anything about the increase? Thank you, Greta. No, I had not heard about the increase. I could see why if in America because of the inflation. However, I would go the other way. I would try to live off of a 3% withdrawal. That's what I would do for the foreseeable future if I were in that position right now. I just don't trust. I think, yeah, I just don't trust. So that's what I would do. But no, I'll have to look that up, Greta. I didn't know that. Please watch Dr. Ed Weir ran third
Social Security.
Social Security office
in
the U.S. suggests Social Security potential reduction estimated 31 through 33, not bankrupt, reduced benefits. What can we do, folks? What can we do? I just say we just prepare accordingly. I'm not depending on that money, and if his gets reduced, it gets reduced. We are planning accordingly. We're going to plan for the worst, hope for the best, plan for the worst, right? Hi, you all. Do you think the movie Civil War might come to pass? Whew, Lord,
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, we know that, what was I watching? Tennessee. A lot of craziness going on in Tennessee with the white supremacist movements and stuff like that. We know they're on they're growing and on the move to do crazy stuff. So
I didn't hear about that. Yeah, that's not the one with the when they came to the black neighborhood. Was that Tennessee? That when they went to the black neighborhood, the black people came out there with all them guns. AFO. OBU family, what do you think about number 47, setting up reserve for crypto?
I think they're really trying to push us that way. But I also think that's an Elon move too.
He's trying to appease somebody. But I tell you one thing, I cannot believe that Congress would allow him to use taxpayers' dollars to buy Bitcoin. Okay. And so for those of you who are unaware, the United States has reserves of a lot of things. We have an oil reserve, right? We used to have a helium reserve. Now see, here's the thing. The point is that if stuff popped off, we need to make sure that we have a supply of whatever it is that would be consequential to our to the national security and to people's well-being, right? So we understand gas, you got to heat stuff and blah, 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 and get from A to Z and transport food, et cetera, et cetera. Helium, because they were used in a lot of medical devices, and I think still are. I don't know, but I know they were. I know we don't have the reserve anymore. But why would we need a reserve of Bitcoin? Why would we need a reserve of Bitcoin? Explaining to you what it means. Can anybody give a legitimate reason why having some Bitcoin is key to our national security and key to its citizens' well-being?
Like I said, I think they're trying to make it the new currency.
Do they rent rooms for single people that want to relocate within 3 months? Who's they, baby? Who's they? I mean, you can rent a room on Airbnb. So for most anywhere in the world, um, I've been grinding to get back to at least 3,000 a month. My issue is I live off of Uber Eats delivery, and that fluctuates. Remote work is not good. What else can I do? Well, first of all, stop eating Uber Eats. That's number one, because you're paying a surcharge. And then if you're in America, you're tipping. I mean, I tip here too, but it's only a euro because they don't expect a tip. But that's for walking up the stairs. Um,
Yeah, Uber Eats is getting your money.
exactly. If you need to make money and you don't want to you live in the United States, you only have a couple of choices, right? You can work remotely or you can freelance, right? You can freelance or start your own business, right? Mm-hmm. You can teach English online. You can teach English here, or not here necessarily, but in a foreign country that needs English speakers, right? But a W-2 work is easy. It's easy. I think you should do W-2 work while you're creating other income streams, right? Once those income streams are going, unless you've got a huge emergency fund, like 2 years worth at least, I would say you need to do both at the same time until you get the other income stream working. Now, if you can freelance and get some contracts lined up, that could work too, right? So I don't know what you do, Lee, but yeah, like if you're a consultant and you sign a couple of contracts for 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 a piece, that could work. From what I see on American and Friends in Portugal, it's taking months to get an appointment for a Portugal visa and then months to get an answer. Meanwhile, you have an apartment in Portugal. I know, Jackie. I know. Look, you got to want to move to Portugal.
Right, you do.
You got to want to move to Portugal because it is a pain in the butt. And yes, you do have to have a 1-year lease before you even apply. So what we did is we came back on our tourist visa to be in our apartment that we were paying rent for. Because the idea of we're paying rent on an apartment and it's sitting empty. We let it sit empty for 6 weeks, and that's all I could take. And then we were back. So we had to do a lot of maneuvering to get our passports back to the United States and vice versa. Now, some consulates don't allow that. They want you to fly back. Some consulates are like, just FedEx it, but they're only going to send it to a United States address. So we had an intermediary, a friend, family friend, handle that for us and be our intermediary. But yeah, so that's what we did. Look. And this was back in the SEF days. This was back before it was as backed up as it is now. We had our appointment August 4th at the consulate. We got our answer October 25th. And then we didn't get our immigration appointment until June of the next year to get our green cards. So look, I don't know what to tell y'all. But thank you again, Dennis. If moving to EU with a family, like kids, is it true that a college fund is no longer necessary since college is the price of a traffic ticket in California? That's thank you, CK. The family, Renee and Rasheed. I don't know if you intended for your kids to go to college. Maybe they're already in college. Again, I didn't ask for ages. If you are seriously, first of all, I'm not sure, unless they want to be a doctor, a lawyer, something that you have to be certified. I'm not sure that the ROI on university in the United States is a positive one. I think you're still in the negative. It costs too much and salaries ain't there, right? So that's number one. Number two, a lot of this stuff you really don't even need a college degree for. And a lot of companies are not requiring that anymore. And I know, that they were doing that with the federal government as well, but now who knows, right? Who knows what he's doing? Who knows? So that means certifications trade schools and things like that. And then lastly, if I still had kids that I was expected to help get through college, I'd insist that they go in Europe. Because even if they wanted to move back to the United States, United States has, not MAGA, but normal, the real Americans, they have this affinity with Europe, right? And so they respect European universities. And so that's going to be just fine. Germany, it's free still.
Free, yeah.
I'm assuming, based upon their politics and who won, that's going to remain the case. The UK is still affordable. Here at the university that teaches in English, I think 4 years is about $5,000 for a 4-year degree. So for any of you, because there were a lot of folks who wrote in who were single parents. And so for those of you who are single parents, it's going to be very hard for you to prepare for your own retirement at the same time as paying $30, $40, $50, $60,000 a year, $70, $80, $90,000 a year for college. I mean, it is asinine. It is asinine. It was asinine when my son was in. It was asinine when I was in. Shoot. Truth be told, even way back then, it was asinine. Not at the public schools, but definitely at the private schools. All right. So thank you, CK, for saying that. I'm 3 years away from being 59 and a half. I talked to my Aunt Gwen and we figured out how much I need for the gap, including emergencies. Perfect. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it, right, Allison? And so, yeah, there is a way that you can start transferring money little by little over to a Roth IRA. So then it's still growing tax deferred, but you've already paid taxes on that money. And because it's going to an IRA, I think you don't get a penalty. Do research. Don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Do research. I know that there's a way, and I think that's the way. All right. RMD kicks in at 75 years of age. What's RMD? Should there be a plan regarding what to do with that income, which will feel like a bonus? What is RMD? What am I missing? Do you know what that is?
RMD, no.
Okay. I don't know. You're gonna have to give us more information, CK. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so we did Sonia, and Marcus gave you know what? I really want to change that slide now, Marcus. I want to change the slide. All right, we did Janice. We did Rasheed and Renee, and I just gave you some more information about college, Rasheed and Renee. And the next one is Monica and Madison. So another single parent. I don't know people's names. So, and I couldn't tell from the email address whether it could be a dad and a child. I have no idea. But I'm a woman. So of course I'm going to assume it's going to be a mom. So y'all have to forgive me for that. All right. So Monica and Monica's the mom, Madison's the daughter. She earns $3,000 a month. Her other income is
$3,000.
And then expenses are
$3,000.
Leaving a $3,000 gap.
$3,000 gap.
Right. So she could be saving 50% of her income. Or 100% of her income.
Actually, yeah.
100% of her income. And if you can save 100% of your income, then you can retire. Right? If you can save 100% of your income, then you can retire. The credit card debt is $1,000. That's gone. All right.
Let's her assets.
So let's talk about what this single mom has done. She has
her home equity,
$150,000 in her home.
Retirement accounts, $700,000.
$700,000 in retirement account.
Brokerage accounts, $60,000.
All right.
And savings account, $18,000.
Okay.
And other assets, $350,000.
So other assets, a second home, a business, something like that. Okay. And then she says she can get 50,000 for her car. All right. We don't have a car. So I ask about the car because if you're moving to Mexico, you could take the car with you. There's some stipulations around temporary residency versus permanent residency, um, in the car situation. If I lived in Mexico, I would not want to drive because their laws are cray cray when it comes to having an accident.
And then depending on the type of car you got, you can ship it overseas depending on the car you got.
Yeah, so we have friends who have something about the size of a Mini, one of those Minis.
Like a Mini Cooper.
Like a Mini Cooper.
It's not the Mini Cooper.
It's something else, a Fiat or whatever. So, it's itty bitty.
500.
And they shipped it over. And it was worth it. $5,000 to ship it over.
No. 5,000 Fiat 5,000.
Oh, Fiat 5,000. Okay, yeah, whatever. So one of them little bitty cars. They shipped their car over because it's a European car. It's made for European streets. And, so these long, windy cobblestone streets, it works fine. If you're moving to Canada, I suppose you could drive your car to Canada. Most American cars are not going to work in Europe. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're going to South Africa, they drive on the wrong side of the street, first of all. That's a long way to ship a car. And I'm not sure I would even do that. So that's why we ask about the car. So she can get 50,000 for her car. So I'm going to add that up. Ooh, I'm running out of juice. Can you find a phone plug? All right, let's see. 150,000 plus 700,000 plus 60,000 plus 18,000 plus 350,000 plus 50,000. 1.328. So her net worth is $1,328. Thank you, babe. Now, brother man, Marcus, you got me looking at my future numbers now. All right. So she says she can live off of $3,000 a month. 3 times 12 is 36, right? So $36,000 a year times 25 is 900,000 is her magic number. Again, if you can save 100% of your income, you can retire. Obviously, right? And so it is time to get out of Dodge, Monica. It is time to get out of Dodge. Pay off that $1,000 credit card, which is probably just 1 month's worth of stuff. Pay off that credit card, get out of Dodge. I would love for you to have some more cash. But if you sell your car, there's your cash.
Right.
I'm not sure what you're doing with your other assets or your home. So you can decide whether you're going to keep your home and rent it out, whether you feel like putting up with that. Okay. There's pros and cons. Now is probably not a really good time to sell a house with the interest rates the way they are, but it's going to be a minute before they get better. So your other assets, again, I don't know if you plan to sell those assets. If you can keep them and if you believe that they will appreciate in the futures, again, I don't know how old you are, then maybe you should keep them. And it just all depends. Like we were talking to somebody the other day and they've got land that they want to sell. Now, land does not necessarily go up in value the way houses tend to go up. Houses don't always go up in value, right? In the short term. In the long term, 15 years or whatever. But in the short term, they don't necessarily. And we saw that happen in 2008. So either way it goes, you need to decide what you're going to do with your stuff, Monica, what you're going to do with your houses and your businesses and second homes or whatever you got and your car. But you are in a financial position to quit. Mm-hmm. So if you are earning income because this is side hustle business, your own business, freelancing, stuff like that, well, you can choose what you want to do as long as it doesn't keep you in a physical place that you don't want to be. But in any event, you are in a financial position to retire. So congratulations, Monica. You did the damn thing. And you did the damn thing on a modest income, figuring out, I don't know, like that 3,000, that could be a military pension or something like that, right? But still, $6,000 a month um, is not that much money, depending upon which city you live in. So that's $72,000 a year. Yeah, that is, and a single mom, and yeah. So you did things right, and you are in an enviable position because we were not that smart. We spent like there was no tomorrow on a bunch of crap that we ended up throwing away.
Shame on us.
Shame on us. All right, here we go. The last one. The last one's going to be tough. All right, this is Steve. Steve makes $2,394 a month. And his expenses are?
His monthly expenses are $1,295.
$1,295. All right, so he lives modestly. That is a gap of $1,099. Okay. He rents. He does not own his home. Retirement account,
$62,257.
brokerage,
257.
257.
Brokerage account is 1,350.
Okay.
No savings in the savings account.
Okay. So that equals 63,607. And then his car is upside down. That's the thing. His car is upside down, folks. $14,500 upside down. Plus he's got the $20,000 debt. So that equals $34,500. And I'm going to minus that. Ooh, 63,607 equals. So he's got a net worth of $29,107 based upon these numbers. Oh, doggone it. Doggone it. I'm going to have to figure that out. Sorry, guys. There was a little moisture and my notes got smushed. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. All right. So let's get back to Steve. The car, Steve. Yeah. The car is an issue. And your lack of savings is an issue. All right. So your gap is $1,099. We need you to save money. I need you to save money till it hurts, Steve. Okay. And you need cash right now is what you need, because you can't go anywhere. You're going to get credit card debt trying to get to where you want to go. Right. So we need you to save money, and we need you to save enough 6 months plus move money. Okay. 6 months plus move money. And the reason why I'm saying that is because your budget is really tight. It is really, really, really tight. We need some more income coming in, Steve. So as we said, everybody's got to be starting a side hustle, coming up with another way to make money. We just finished our side hustle challenge last week. We'll be doing another one. If you want to know when we do, because we only accept a certain amount of people, when we do our next side hustle challenge, get on our mailing list. That information is in the description below. Okay. The biggest thing is we need more income. I don't know how you could lower expenses. That is a very modest budget.
What can we do about the car?
Well, the car, we can't do nothing about the car until you have savings, right? Like you're going to need it to drive, right? So until you have the savings and ready to go, you're keeping the car because you can't sell it. I would see if I could find somebody to take over the payments. I don't know, I don't know how you get that upside down in a car. The only way to get that upside down in a car is if you bought a brand new, spanking brand new car off the lot, and then it loses 14 and you overpaid and put no money down, right?
Mm.
Like 14,000 upside down. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, it could be the type of car too.
Yeah.
A high-end car.
So if the car is like they said that Ford truck was 80,000, I'm like $80,000 for a pickup truck, and he said it's going after the tariffs is going up to 100,000. So if you bought the $100,000 truck and drove it off the lot, you can't turn around and sell it for $100,000. And and so at that point, yeah, I suppose it could be worth like $86,000 after that, after you drive it off the lot. That's assuming you put no money down, right? Y'all. You see the situation. We've got to make smarter decisions. Okay. We don't buy new cars. If you are remaining in a place that you have to have a car, we do not buy new cars. Okay. That's what we don't do. It does not make sense. They lose value as soon as you drive them off the lot. If you need a new car to feel safe, a newer car, how about a car with like 4,000, 5,000 miles on it, right? Still under factory warranty
Right.
and all that stuff, right? But now somebody else has paid that premium price, and now you get to pay the used car price. So we do not buy new cars. And it took a minute for me to learn that lesson because, ego was tied up in me having a new car. That's for doggone sure.
I think for most of us, ego is tied up into it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's wanting what you feel you want.
And you deserve.
Not what you need, but what you feel you want.
Right. I deserve to have this Jag. I deserve to have this Range Rover. Yeah, we had all of that.
We've had
all of that crap. Right. He got a pot to piss in. Anyway. All right. So his budget is 2,100. Hopefully I did the math right. 25,000 for the year. 630,000 is the magic number. But what we need you to increase your income, Steve. That's what we need. We need you to increase your income. So we can get rid of that other debt, that 20,000. And hopefully we can get somebody to take over the car. So that's what I would be working on right now. Somebody to take over that car payment and maybe just get it refinanced if they can. That's what I would say. Okay. Because you got to get out from up under that. You've got to get out from up under that. So 6 months emergency fund plus moving money. Because I don't want you to have to touch that retirement account or have to use credit cards if it happens unexpectedly. Okay. And so for all of you who are first of all, in the description below, we have the Move Abroad Toolkit. You've got to get the Move Abroad Toolkit. It will give you all of the questions that you never thought to ask. Okay. And it'll help you come up with your budget, your move budget, and everything else. All right. This is what we learned moving abroad. And it's all in that toolkit. And there's some things that you just can't foresee. And there's some things, I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch. I don't care how many Facebook expat groups you sleuth around in. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. And so I try to capture all of that. And we put it in that Move Abroad Toolkit. That can be found in the description below. And so one of the things that I suggest is whatever that budget is that you have come up with using the toolkit or just a spreadsheet, if that's what you want to do, add 10% to it. Okay. Add 10% to it. If you don't need it, you don't need it. But we have heard of situations, and first of all, if you're watching us, I know you're not going to be one of them people, because only smart people watch us. That's one thing that I do know. But I have heard stories, horror stories in these expat groups of folks getting to another country and then 4 days later talking about where's the food bank? Where's the food pantry? Yeah. Like what? Wait, what? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are you talking about? Food pantry? Oh, no, 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 no. All right. So we do not want this for you. All right. Let's keep it moving. And then we'll let you go. He has 900 left monthly after expenses. Can't just pay 800 monthly on the upside down car. Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about, CK. All right. Then the debt while saving $100 monthly. Yeah, I don't want him to though. I'd rather have him save that money if he can figure out somebody to take over that payment, right? Especially like if somebody doesn't have good credit and then but they have a good job and you can trust that they will, do the thing.
That's a lot of trust, though.
It depends on who the family member is.
That's a lot of trust.
It is. You can always, look, he doesn't have much choices.
I don't know too many people in my family I might trust with that.
Yeah, there's a few in my family I would trust, but like he doesn't have a lot of choices. He's upside down, so somebody's got to pay it.
True.
Or he could just walk away from it and take the hit. Just turn it in somewhere and take the hit. But again, I don't suggest purposely ruining your credit, even if you plan on leaving the country. You never know when you might have to go back for whatever reason. You never know when you might need that credit for some reason. So, I do not suggest that, but everybody knows their own situation best, right? Get rid of that car, get that hoopty to get to work. I know, but see, if he's upside down, he can't get rid of it because he's still going to owe. Right? That's the thing. The car loans these days are insane for something that loses value as soon as you drive it off the lot. That's what I'm saying, Pinky. That's what I'm saying. Casual in the kitchen. Selling our home will allow us to live in Portugal for 10 years worry-free with no need for additional income. While it be considered income to be will it, I think is what you meant to type. Will it be considered income to be taxed by Portugal? No. Any gains that you get from that money, earning money, has the potential to be taxed. But not that, because it happened before you moved. So, the only thing that you guys have to worry about is the taxes in the United States. But if it's about $500,000 between the two of you, then you don't have to pay taxes on it. Well, today anyway. We don't know what's going to change. All right. Right.
Things change daily.
Can the chat box be saved when the live is saved? There are some good questions, comments, and answers in here. Hey, Summer Girl. Yeah, it is. So when the live is over, it takes about 15, 20 minutes or so, and then the chat shows back up. Okay. And so that's why we never edit our lives, because the chat will disappear.
Chat goes away
if we edit it. So, check with your tax expert before doing a Roth IRA if your intent is to reside in Portugal. The Roth withdrawal are taxed in Portugal, hence double tax on the Roth funds. Withdrawal is real. Thank you, CK. Why aren't these folks hitting that like button? Hit the like button, y'all. There's over 500 people watching. So thank you, Teddy. So hopefully, required minimum distribution. Oh, so
after 75.
Oh, okay. The amount of money that you have to take after 72.
I thought it was 75.
Is it 75? I don't know. We got to look it up. Let's look it up. Okay. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. And on 401ks. Yeah. Thank you, Karen Louise. I went to trade school, then regular college years later. Actually got more benefit from a certificate that I got in trade school than I did from college. Right? That's all I'm saying. Because trade schools teach you how to make money, right? Doing a specific thing. Like sometimes in college, it's just so esoteric It's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Open up a sociology store? I don't know what I'm doing. I see you on YouTube all the time, decent fixer-upper houses in Europe. I see, not us, but see on YouTube, fixer-upper houses in Europe and Portugal that cost 50,000. Have you seen those type of properties near the ocean? Nah. Supposedly homes in Europe are cheaper. They can be rider skater. But fixer-upper can be fixer-upper. I mean, you could have something close to a ruin. For real though. So like, don't buy anything sight unseen. You need to come, you need to make sure, like, think about this. You're moving to another country where you don't know the rules. Do you have a contractor that you can trust? How do they work? What is the culture? What can you expect? Right? All of that stuff has to be thought about before one does something like that. Now, for the folks who went to our Move to Portugal virtual summit, you guys heard from our friend Nicole, who bought a building here. But she had been coming for like 5 years looking, and she's a real estate person in the United States as well, right? But she had been coming here 5 years looking for property. And along the way, met a lot of folks and learned a lot. You see what I'm saying? So even though she bought it and then her and her family moved here, they had been coming for months at a time over half of a decade, and she is a real estate person. So we never suggest. It's just there's some crazy stuff that goes on here, folks, and it's not illegal. I'm not saying illegal stuff goes on it. I'm not saying it's corruption. What I'm saying is their rules are so different. So you just and we have certain expectations. If you've bought property in the United States, then you have certain expectations on how that's going to go down, right? I mean, you can throw that out the window. If you came to our Move to Portugal Virtual Summit, we talked about the buying process. It is a lot different. It is a lot different. So, for instance, one of the things, I'm looking for questions as I tell this story. One of the biggest things that threw me for a loop. So, when you buy a house in the United States, you have to put down earnest money, right, with the contract. So, mark that. And so the intent is that you are putting down 2%, 3% of the money. And that's supposed to be a good faith thing, that you are going to go through with the contract in good faith and not try to pull out. And if you do without cause for something that's not in the contract, you lose that money. Well, here, you don't put down no 2, 3%. You put down a deposit of like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, maybe even $100,000 to buy a property in Portugal. And you give it to
the owner.
The owner
of the property. That goes into their account.
Not into an escrow account.
So they got your money. They hold your money.
Now the law is, and so here's the thing. The law is, if the buyer pulls out, they lose that money. They lose that $50,000, $100,000. And see, some buyers were coming over here assuming that they could pull out of a contract if the inspection wasn't good. But that wasn't in the contract. Why? Because that's not standard here. And folks don't know. And they got played and had to buy a house or lose their money that had mold issues and this and that and the other. All right. So you got to get an attorney and all of the things that you expect. And I'm sure it's not just Portugal. I'm sure it's every other country has different rules, right? So get an attorney and make sure that everything that you expect to be in these contracts, in a rental agreement too, is in those contracts, because I'm telling you. And then if the seller pulls out, they have to pay double. So if the deposit, if the deposit was 100,000, they have to give the buyer 200,000. I like that. But it's like, it feels weird. Like I'm putting my money in, and I don't even have the keys.
I don't know you.
That's all I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. All right. We only have a couple more questions, then we'll let you go. All right, Sam Bam.
And that was 73. Take your first RMD distribution.
73 years old. Okay.
You have to take your first one. Required to take distribution in the year which you reach 73.
All right. Well, I got a long way to go. Haha. Can you do a show about selling classic regular cars, houses, etc.? Since I've been trying to sell it as a private seller for my second car. Hey, Zambam, that's not, I don't know that that's really in our purview. Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody who could do a much, much better job at that than we could. We're really about just real estate investing, stock investing.
Yeah, we don't
right?
know that enough about cars
and things like that.
Antique stuff like that. No.
There is growth through paying off debt. Yes, ma'am, there is. And I never want to be in debt again for anything. For anything. Ooh, Lord, that's a yucky feeling. Steve can sell the car for whatever he can get, then pay off the balance still. Oh, yeah, that's an option too.
True.
That is definitely
I thought
an
of
option.
that, but it's like, then it's hard because you're still paying for something that you don't have possession of. So, but I thought about that also. Well, yeah, why don't you just sell it for what you can get and then pay the rest of the loan off? Unless you can sell it for, well, but you're underwater. So it's
a crazy situation. I'm so sorry, Steve, that you are in that situation. I'm so sorry. All right. An immigration attorney I interviewed said that if I apply for a mortgage in Portugal, the lender will check my U.S. credit to check my debt load and that nothing else matters. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, I suppose they will look at your debt to income ratio, but not your credit checks, not your credit score. They're not looking at your credit score. They don't look at your score. And then the other thing, y'all, is here in Portugal, you can only get a loan until you're 70, maybe 72. I think they were talking about changing it to 72 years old, but let's just say 70 years old.
And you don't get that much of a loan.
And they're not giving you no 97% loan. No. So if you are 60, that means you can get a 10-year loan. And they're probably going to make you put down 50, 60, 70%.
Some will make you get insurance.
Some will make you get life insurance just to make sure that they're not going to get stuck with this house. See, the banks here, they don't want the house. Unlike in the United States where they're trying to take them houses left and right. They don't want these houses. They do not want these houses. I'm currently on a house sit in the UK. Congratulations, Coco, for y'all. If you do not know about house sitting, Rick and I are house sitters. There's a link below for trusted house sitters. If it's not there now, it will be there once this live is over. And that will give you a discount if you are interested. And so if you like pets, we like pets. We really like pets. Because we were supposed to do another one by now and we haven't. So anyway, we've been able to do the UK, Spain, and Belgium abroad so far. And so it's basically, you watch somebody's cat, you watch somebody's dog. I don't do like 10 cats and 2 dogs. I'm not doing all that. That's too much. And the house has to be nicer than our house. It has to be nicer than our house. So you stay in their house, you take care of their house for 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I've seen some for 2 months, y'all. So you're living basically rent-free, right? You're not paying for a hotel or anything else. And what you do in exchange is make sure that you are taking care of their pet.
Yeah, the pet is okay.
Yep. And it's a great way for us to extend our travel and stay within budget. So Coco, I'm currently on a house sit in the UK and it's great, but owner has black face figurines in the living room. Owner seems really lovely. What would you do?
Put him in another room.
I just cover him up with a scarf. Look, we see black face figurines in Spain, and I think they have the same meaning and they don't have the same meaning. Okay, and so they picked you. They knew what you looked like, and they picked you for the house sit. That means they trust you in their home. True. So I don't think for them it has the same meaning. And some of those are very, very old and probably worth a lot of money, unfortunately. But we saw them a lot in Spain in the stores, especially in antique stores. Yeah. Not new, but antique stores and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Again, if they trust you in their
That's the
home,
thing. You're in their home and they trust you to be there.
I think you're good.
You're good.
Steve can sell the car for what? Okay, we did that one. Sorry, y'all. 63, retired, working part-time, ready to live abroad. Okay, Juanita. Will get my Social Security and pension, no debt, renting, be wise, ASAP. Yeah, I wouldn't try to come to a foreign country and buy for the reasons we just said. Now, can you eventually buy? Sure, absolutely. We know people who have and are so happy that they did. But all of them were here for over a year before they purchased. Maybe not before they started looking, but definitely before they purchased. Okay. And so by that time, there's time to meet some locals, to get some good recommendations for attorneys and things of that nature, right?
Get a lay of the land. You kind of understand the system more, learn the system a little bit more, what's going on.
Exactly. Yes, we do have personal consultations. We do one-on-one coaching, and that information is in the description below. But yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. But what else were you saying, sweetheart? I'm sorry.
No, I said you get the lay of the land if you're here, and you
exactly. Exactly.
You can figure things out.
And the other thing that I wanted to add to that, you'll also understand the market a little bit better and understand whether you're going to be overpaying, whether this is a neighborhood that's up and coming, right? Whether the neighborhood is already saturated, so you're probably paying top dollar as opposed to getting a deal, et cetera, right? All of that kind of stuff you should be thinking about. That's an idea. That's an idea. Drive Uber. Bring in some extra cash, right? Or maybe Lyft. I think you make more per ride with Lyft. I hear that age limit also applies to France. See? Okay. Look, it's a lot different. And fixed rate mortgages here in Portugal are very rare. Okay, folks? Are you able to house sit during the first year of getting your visa abroad? Yep. Thinking out loud. Yep. Hey, stylists and suitcases. Yeah, absolutely. So how it works in Portugal, first of all, Mexico, whether you have temporary or permanent, come and go as you please. There's no requirement to stay in country a certain amount of time. Portugal, on the other hand, the first one you get is temporary, unless you're doing the golden visa, starting a business thing. So D7, D8, the first one you get is temporary. It's for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And out of that 2 years, you have to be in country at least 8 months. Then you get it renewed for 3 years. Over that 3-year period, you have to be in country at least 8 months. And then after that, you get permanent and you can come and go, then and apply for citizenship, come and go. So that's how that works. We did. As a matter of fact, we did a house sit. We had to make a border run because we told you we came here on tourist visa. So we had to make a border run. So we ran to Manchester, England, and did a house sit there, Pita the cat. And so we stayed in England for a week and a half or so.
And it rained every day.
Every day. It was cold and rainy and cold and rainy. It's a cool city.
Yeah, it is.
The architecture, but it was cold. If I ever see England and I see sunshine, that'll be the day. We'll see. We will see. So we did that one, and then the next fall or something like that, we were in Spain for 3 weeks.
Yeah, we did Spain 3 weeks in Girona.
Yeah, we were in Girona, Spain, and we took a couple of extra days and did Barcelona. And then we were in Brussels for about 2.5 weeks or so, give or take. So, yeah.
No dog. We didn't have to dog sit because the dog passed away.
Yeah, we told you guys that. The dog passed away before we got there.
But he still, opened his home and said, "You're welcome to stay in my home."
So the only thing that we had to do for him was pick up a package.
Yeah.
That was our payment for staying in his house, and he gave us a great review. So So I think we've answered all the questions. All right, y'all. So we have given you food for thought. If we did not pick your situation, if you have a deficit, that's going to be hard. Okay, you need a one-on-one consultation. If you are running at a deficit every month, baby, you got to increase that income. Okay, you've got to increase that income. We will do this again, and we might do even one or two on a Thursday short. So keep tuning in. And if you want us to do yours and you want to still fill out the form, go ahead and fill out the form. I think we're gonna. What do you guys think? Do you think we should do this every so often? Did you like this? Seeing the case studies and seeing this information out there like that, I think is helpful. But I want to know what you think. So let us know by giving a thumbs up. Let us know in the chat. If you're watching from the future, hey, let us know in the comments if this is something that you want us to continue doing. And I will go down to the bottom. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Great. I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful when you can actually see the numbers and you see that, first of all, you might look at some of these and say, okay, my situation is not that bad. Right? All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad. So this was helpful. This was helpful. All right, well, I don't see any more questions, so we're going to let you go. Hopefully, let me take this off screen. Hopefully, if you have more questions and you want one-on-one help, you can get that. That information is in the description below. It's like the second line after the description of the video itself. All right. If you want to be in a group and have some accountability and all of that, we do have Beyond the Bling, which is our financial independence program for late bloomers. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to be over 50 or anything like that. If you want to join our Facebook group, Fire Over 50, you don't have to be over 50. You do have to be from the diaspora, but you don't have to be over 50. Action VJ, you're so good. You are so good. Thank you so much. We so appreciate it. I just love our community. I love our community. And some of you have become family. Y'all know who you are. You've become family. And, so Beyond the Bling, we meet monthly, every second Saturday. So we just had a group coaching session on Saturday, and we talk about all of these things, and we talk about what's going on with the economy, how we're going to handle diversifying our cash, right? Like opening up bank accounts in different countries, and so that we have different currencies. Because I've been starting to look at housing south of the equator, away from the Western world. One, because I think that's up and coming, right? And two, because it's less expensive. And there's lovely places with stable governments and lower costs of living and all of that. So may not be buying a building in Portugal. We're going to see what's going to happen geopolitically, but we talk about all of that in Beyond the Bling, what we should do with our assets, how we can protect our assets, as well as making sure people have a plan to get to financial independence. So we meet every second Saturday of the month. We have a side hustle challenge that we are going to do again. And I think we're going to change the way I think we're going to create a community around that, because all of us starting businesses, right? It would be nice to have folks to bounce things off of.
Yeah.
So I think we might be starting a community about around that. If you think that's a great idea, let us know. Because if we don't have enough interest, everybody who took the side hustle challenge, who was on the last call, they were all for it. They did want that to happen. So I think it's a good idea. So yeah, that information is in the description below. And of course, our summer meetup. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you guys again. And with that, we're going to let you go.
So wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
So should we ask them what they think about merchandise?
Merch. So yeah, let us know. Some people have talked about, where's your merch? Where's your merchandise? Where's your merchandise? T-shirts, hats, and things like that. Now, for the meetup last year, we had T-shirts, and we will probably have T-shirts again. Thank you, DY. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, all of our super chat, super thanks money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. Our community thanks you. We look out for each other around here. That's what we do. That's what we do, right? And so, so we'll probably have t-shirts again this year for the meetup participants. But our Black Utopia merchandise, let us know.
Something that you use, not just anything.
Yeah, we don't want stuff that'll just sit around. No, it would have to be some t-shirt that you would wear, hat that you would wear, or
Everybody
something like
wears
that.
baseball caps and stuff like that. Or beanies. Depending on where you live.
Yeah, if you live in a cold place.
Thanks.
So, all right.
Wanted to get you guys' opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Costs very little to set up. Yeah, that's true. Sell before ordering. Oh, definitely, Paula. Look, we're not carrying inventory. No. It's going to be print on demand.
We ain't got no room for inventory.
We don't. It's going to be print on demand. I'm not silk screening. No, I'm not trying to work that hard. But I like the art part of it. I like designing stuff. I think that's the fun part.
Hey, Action VJ, you got it.
I want crazy. Yeah, with his face doing one of them faces on it. Yeah, buddy. That would be funny. All right, y'all. We're going to let you go.
Be safe.
All right. Love y'all. See ya.